Hello there. I thought you might like a little bit of an update this Sunday on the absolute batshit insanity that is the Invercargill by-election. Because it's such a large field, it kind of acts as a bit of a microcosmos of what we might be able to expect for this year's general election, and it's horrifying. Like it's genuinely horrifying in some places. So for example, you've got Jacqueline Water here, who isn't running, but she did run last year to be the mayor. She got 114 votes, I think it was, who is now courting candidates to come and join her all-new political party. She kind of sees herself as a South Island version of Liz Gunn, but in her own words, much more moderate. She believes she's moderate, even though she's what you'd call a trad wife. She is in serious need of some mental health help is probably the safest way of putting it out there. She's also currently in the court system for harassment issues. And yeah, that's not really the kind of person that you want to run a political party, but she's also no fan of mine, and she's been telling the candidates that she's probably passed the Barlow test, which I'm not sure exactly what that is, but I'm pretty sure she would fail. On top of that, you've got people who are loading public meetings, like this dude here, who in 2011 was actually part of the world champion New Zealand touch rugby team, telling the candidates that they need to give up what they're doing and go and join New Zealand's Loyal New Zealand Party. I think it's called that. Who knows, it's going to get like 2% of the vote maximum. It's going to be a mess. But sitting there and basically ambushing candidates, telling them that they need to do this is not how a democracy is supposed to work. You go, you listen to what they have to offer, you vote for the one that feels like they represent you the best. You've also got other groups like the Van NZ, who are, oh boy, they're racist, they're anti-trans, they're anti-science, they're a whole bunch of things, and they're a big fan of groups like New Conservatives and Democracy NZ, and they're trying to put on meetings and load other public meetings to go out and support the candidate that they like the most, which is David Mead. And that could be really problematic as well. Now, I don't know if David's a fan of theirs or supports them, but having their support could be seen by other voters as really problematic, especially when, they're there pushing content from known white supremacists and fascists on their platform. And finally, you've got What's on Inverse, which is the local paper, sort of. It's very much a local news media outlet. Now, if you remember that speech that Nobby Clark, the mayor of Invercargill, gave at the Julian Bachelor thing, where he starts off with, "Mike knows what I'm talking about, don't you, Mike?" Mike is the guy who runs What's on Inverse. He's the only fan of Garrick Tremaine who still has a media platform of any kind, and he is very, very pointed in who it is that he supports. So much so he decided to run a straw poll this weekend, which has no scientific basis whatsoever, but I guarantee he's going to start promoting it that way afterwards, where he actually broke down the candidates by who supports co-governance and who doesn't, because that to him is obviously the biggest issue facing Invercargill right now. Yeah, no. So if you're in Invercargill and you're looking at voting in this year's by-election, please do your research. It's really important to know that the candidates that you're voting for represent you and what you want, and encourage others to go out and do it. There's a lot of noise being thrown your way, and it's really hard sometimes to filter that out to get to the bottom of what the candidates have to offer and what they bring to the table. And for everybody else that's sort of watching in horror at the moment, this is one of the reasons why we need to be really, really vigilant in this year's general election, because this kind of fuckery is going to keep on happening.